Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on my friend Kyle's Evo 10. He just recently got a new turbo and I'm very interested in the setup he's got because it's probably the route that I'll go with my car if I ever change turbos in the future. So yeah, going to take the car for a bit of a drive, get some POV driving, get some flybys. What you really need to do is hear this thing because it sounds incredible. So I'm going to mic it up with a microphone in the engine bay and at the exhaust just for a nice little drive. And yeah, just give an overall thoughts and a bit of a review, I guess, on this turbo setup. So first things first, let's open up the engine bay and have a look at the route that he has gone. Okay, so let's open this thing up and take a look. So yeah, as you can see, very different to the traditional stock frame turbo route. We have got some custom stuff going on. So I'll go over a bit of that. So yeah, starting off the turbo, as you can see, this is a top mount. So it's actually a Pulsar G25 660 54mm dual ball bearing turbo. It's sitting on top of a 6-boost high mount exhaust manifold. So, and it's also V-band. So the thing is, this is pretty cheap to purchase, this turbo, but also the labor. Like to get this thing out, it's right there, V-band setup. You'd have that thing out pretty quick, replaced with a new one. So just for that reason alone, that's like a really good option. But then to make that work, obviously you have the 6-boost manifold underneath. So a bit of a different sort of setup. You'd also end up with custom intercooler piping and intake and everything. It's all going to be not just off the shelf parts. So which is what Kyle used to have. He used to have traditional intercooler piping, which I think it sort of goes to there. I don't know. It definitely doesn't have this last curve in it. And then he had a different intake originally as well. But so yeah, this is also a really good sounding turbo because it has a T51R mod, and so it kind of has like the whistle, but it also has really nice flutter sounds as well, which you guys will definitely hear pretty soon. So it's got the custom 2-inch intercooler piping. It has a custom 3-inch intake piping. So this has all been made to suit this kit. And I mean, if you look at the way it sort of routes up, you've got the intake straight off the turbo here, very direct route. Got the MAF housing on the side, which actually I really like that, much cleaner than sitting on top, makes the whole thing look a lot nicer. He also got new injectors, fuel pressure regulator, fuel rail, all that sort of stuff at the same time, which I'm not going to go too far into depth on, but he did get some FIC 1200cc injectors and a Walbro 460 fuel pump, and he put it on flex fuel, so it is running a flex fuel kit. It's just on E85 at the moment, and on the E85 it did make 305 kilowatts. I think that was 436 newton meters. Just got the nod that that was correct. So yeah, very like responsive setup, but actually has the top end to match. That's just really making me kind of want to change this setup myself. So yeah, I've been in the car a couple of times. It definitely pulls hard, and it pulls hard all the way up to the top of the red line. It definitely doesn't seem like it falls off much at all. That's what I noticed. It comes on quick and it stays on, so it's really like a good option. And you could also get a slightly larger, this is like a 54mm. I haven't looked them up, but I know there's like different brands like the Garrett G series that are, bigger. This is a 54mm, like I said, so it's got good low end, but it also has a good top end. But if you wanted something much bigger, you could go that route. And that's maybe what I'll look into if something ever happens with my turbo or I decide to make the change. So yeah, that is roughly the setup. You can see it looks super cool. Like really, it doesn't look too overdone or anything but you can tell that is a custom option. Like if you look at this, it looks, yeah, so cool. Got the purpley blue happening there as well. Yeah, really liking this. So the car itself, as you can see, doesn't look overdone. If you've got the bonnet closed, this is just a super tidy OEM Plus style Evo 10, and it doesn't have a super loud exhaust. There's a dual exit exhaust on it, and it's just got this really nice sounding turbo. So I feel like the sound actually goes really well. Like it looks good, but then it's got this nice turbo sound. Exhaust isn't overpowering it, like sound wise. So yeah, I'm really liking this setup. What we'll do now is we'll take this for a bit of a drive. Get a few flybys and pulls, and we're probably even going to get the draggy out and record a little thing I'm doing for the channel, which is my draggy test, which any of you guys who watch and have a drag, you want to submit your times onto the Facebook page. But yeah, I'll talk more about that. We'll do that, see what time he gets, see if he can beat my time, which could happen. And yeah, so we'll go for a drive now and you guys can actually hear what this car sounds like. Right guys, jumped into the car, gonna take it for a bit of a drive and get my thoughts. So I did drive this car previously when it was on pump fuel. If you're in Australia, that's 98, but other countries, I guess they just call it pump fuel. But yeah, so now it's on the full E85 map. So I gave it a short little drive. I got the sounds and everything and a bit of a pull, but it didn't seem sort of that quick to me on 98 pump fuel, just because I'm used to the higher power of E85. But I think now it should feel quicker than my car because it's making a little bit more power, an extra 10 kilowatts. And yeah, you won't really get the sounds because I do have the microphone on me at the moment. And the microphone, when it's just on me, it doesn't really pick up the sound as well, but yes. I'm sure you wouldn't have heard that because I know from experience when I film with this setup, you don't hear anything turbo and flutter sound, but that flutter that makes is so good. And yeah, the turbo spooling, I think like it's a pretty quiet like exhaust, which I think works better when you go like a louder turbo. Nothing's drowning each other out. So just now at like 2,000-3,000 RPM, it's basically spooling like that really nice whistle sound that you get with the T51R mod. But then when you back off, you get that really good flutter as well. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can't hear that flutter, but it is like, yeah, I'll get the microphone in there in a little bit to give you guys an idea. So I'm just going to get a little bit further on this road and I might just do a wide open throttle pull. And then we're going to head out to another spot and we're going to get Kyle to do a few flybys and I'll get some exterior shots of what the car sounds like going past from outside, but also, yeah, that all important mic'd up shot with the engine sounds. So do a bit of a downshift here. I'll go down into third. In just a second, just want to build up a bit of a gap. So third, there's second. Yeah, it just pulls all the way. I think it pulls top end better than mine. Like there's no difference. Like I feel that the torque and power it's coming on a lot smoother than mine. Definitely feel it pick up top end. So at about 5,500, 6,000 RPM, I feel it like almost has a second wind to it, like. And yeah, the sound is incredible. That flutter. That's what I miss in my car. My old turbo, I had the spool, not so much, but I had the flutter. And then my new turbo, I have the spool really good, but I don't have any flutter because of the anti-surge. Whereas this, yeah, we've got the best of both worlds with it. So that's a short little drive for me. Couple of pulls, but mainly we're going to save this for when the owner themselves is driving the car. But it's just, oh, I love it. It's great. So yeah, I'll turn the camera off, and when we get out to our next spot, I'll get some exterior shots and those sound shots for you guys. Alright guys, well as you can see, back where we started, took the car for a bit of a drive. I had a drive in it and absolutely loved it. Feel like it's got an extra 10 kilowatts, which is like, you know, 20 horsepower compared to mine, and I feel like I felt that at the top end, but I don't know, maybe the turbo has a bit more mid-range as well compared to mine. It just felt really nice and linear, and it just sort of kept pulling, like. And then the sounds, I'm sure you guys have heard, I tried a few different ways to get into clips of the sound. I think we got that pretty well. Sounds like incredible. Maybe on some of the POV driving with the microphones, I may have had the exhaust adjusted a little bit too loud, so maybe it's drowning out the sound a bit, but I haven't really checked it too well. But yeah, I'm sure you guys get the idea of how good this turbo sounds. But yeah, it drives really well, sounds great, and as you can see, this car is just like very sort of subtle. It looks nice. It's got parts in all the right spots, not overdone, sort of more to my style and taste. So it's, yeah, the sort of build I really like. So we are definitely wanting to do a full feature video on this one soon. Just that Kyle, the owner, wants to tidy a few things up, finish a few things, and then yeah, we'll look at doing that video, because all I've shown you in this video is really the engine and some of the exterior you've seen, but the interior in this thing is next level. It's got some really nice touches, so yeah, we'll keep all that for the next video. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I probably forgot to mention, I'm sure I did, but if I didn't, this is all done by AK Racing here in Queensland, of course. So yeah, turbo setup they're now offering as an option, as well as all the stock frame options they already sold, such as what I have and what Letitia has on her Red Evo. But now you can get a custom setup like this with all done in-house, all the piping and everything. So I think it's what I would do if I was starting again from scratch, rather than buying a new exhaust manifold and intercooler piping. I would just get everything done custom to suit this type turbo, because then, as I said at the start, it's V-band, pull it off, rebuild it, get a new one, get a bigger one, whatever, chuck it back on. It's so much easier than trying to deal with taking exhaust manifolds and downpipes and everything. It's just, yeah, and it just looks so cool. Also really like how they have the Evolution by Design manifold heat shield here, and they just like cut it off to make it all fit, but left the EVO right there. Normally it would say Evolution obviously and then X Design the rest of the way, but they've just left the Evo there. That's just a little touch that I really like. And yeah, this thing got driven hard today, and it's like a very, very hot day today, to be honest. It's like 40 degrees it feels like, and handled it like a champ. So yeah, definitely a good option. If you are in Queensland and you have an Evo 10 or Rally 8 and you're looking at going a turbo, this is probably the option that I would suggest from now on, rather than some of the stock frame stuff. So it's what I'll be doing as well in the future, or if I had to start again. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will try and get more videos filmed. I know it's been a bit slack lately, but we've got more coming, so hopefully you guys are still keen to stick around and see more. With all that said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.